Okay, when Claudia is not talking about Porsha, she's talking about Nene. When she's not talking about Lanithia, she's talking about Porsha, and it's a vicious cycle. And leave it to Claudia Jordan to basically tell her people that she really doesn't like talking about those two women, but yet she does it perpetually. Okay, quiet as it's kept. I just saw Claudia Jordan do an interview, and she said that she don't even like talking about celebrities and hot topics and gossip anyways. She says she would rather talk policy and politics and global news and what's happening with everyday people and things of that nature. And I find that to be really interesting because this is the same woman that pitched TGIF, okay, on Flop Soul to Flop Soul, right? With her, Funky Dineva, a celebrity gossip blogger, and Star Jones' ex-husband, Al Reynolds. And they sit up there and talk celebrities and hot topics and gossip and things of that nature. So my whole thing is, if you didn't want to talk about celebrities, why didn't you pitch the politics show to Flop Soul? I mean, I'm just a little bit confused at the situation. And then she'll also say, well, celebrity news and gossip, that's what sells. And yes, that is true. But when you look at the grand scope of media and what people consume, does Claudia Jordan really think that the only type of media that people consume is celebrities and hot topics and gossip? When there is a huge market for politics, there is a huge market for crime and legal commentary and content. There is a huge market for television, movies, and music reviews and commentary. Yeah, celebrity news and gossip sells, but that's not the only thing that sells, sis. So at this point, you like doing it, okay? She claims she doesn't like doing it, right? She sat up there in that interview I saw a couple of days ago and said she don't like talking about the celebrities. But yet she does it because that's what sells, I guess. I don't get it. Okay, I don't get it. I feel like you are kind of far along enough in your career. You should be. Okay, you've been doing this for 30, 40 years. I don't know how old the woman is, but I know she's been around for a long time. Okay, she went from The Price is Right to The Damn Deal or No Deal. Then she did The Apprentice. Then she was on The Real Housewives. Then she did The Next 15. Now she's doing Flop Soul. She did The Foxhole Show all over the radio. I think she had her own radio show. She's done all of these things. And yet you have not pitched a show where you want to talk about policy and global news and everyday people. You haven't tried to get a job at CNN or MSNBC or Fox News or, you know, any of those fringe political websites that y'all can go to and look up crazy ass shit, right? You haven't sought out any jobs over there, but you have sought out Flop Soul and pitched them a celebrity news and gossip show. I just don't understand the situation. So anyways, okay. I say that to say that Claudia Jordan, of course, is talking about Porsha on the show, right? And of course, she's talking about Porsha because Porsha was on Porsha's Family Matters acting a damn fool. Okay, swinging at the baby daddy, which she was dead ass wrong at. She was throwing plates everywhere, which was crazy. Okay, Porsha, you looked absolutely insane. She was off her damn rocker and definitely deserved some discipline for what she did in Mexico, right? But yeah. Claudia, of course, went on to Flop Soul to talk about this situation. They were really talking about Porsha's statement. And Funky Dineva had a really good point when he said that he was really annoyed and irritated at Porsha's statement because Porsha in her statement was basically saying something to the effect of, you know, I'm really, disappointed that fans did not get to see the full scope of everything. There was a lot that the fans did not get to see. And Funky's whole thing is, well, sis, while you are here writing out an Instagram dissertation, a PR release, a whole essay, why don't you pencil in the things that we did not get to see? Okay, because Storm already told us what the tea was, even though a lot of y'all don't believe her. And I believe that's what Porsha was trying to imply, but she should have said what it was from the beginning. Okay, and then she tried to deflect, okay? While all of Instagram and Twitter and TV world is coming against her because she's acting insane on her own TV show, right? Her first step should have been holding herself accountable and not deflecting to Dennis at all. Okay, I can deflect to Dennis because I'm a viewer looking at the full scope of everything. Okay, from a viewer's perspective. You, on the other hand, if you're not going to call out explicitly what Dennis did, then you need to be quiet about that part and solely talk about your wrongdoings. Solely hold yourself accountable, right? So that's what they were basically talking about, right? On Claudia Jordan's Flop Soul show. And she basically called the whole show foolish, right? She went on to say that, Porsha kind of fumbled the bag by quitting Housewives. She said that Porsha was kind of set up to be the star of the show, to be the queen of Housewives, especially knowing that, Lenithia had left the show, especially since Cynthia Bailey was fired from the show. And so in Claudia's head, she believes that Porsha was, being set up to be the queen of the show, which I wouldn't disagree with that sentiment. But she says that Porsha fumbled the bag by quitting the Housewives and doing her own thing, which ultimately damaged her brand, which I partly do agree with. Porsha looks crazy. This show is definitely damaging to her brand. Okay, I 100% agree with that. However, Miss Claudia and everybody else out there, why is we acting like Porsha had a squeaky clean brand to begin with? And I've said this so many times, okay? Are we forgetting that Porsha had 3 other physical altercations prior to this moment? Are we forgetting that Porsha is the same person that spread those lies about Candy vs. Tucker on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Are we forgetting that this is the same woman who said that there was 265 days in a year? Okay, where the hell this bitch live at? Nene's words, not mine. Are we forgetting that, this is the same woman that thought that there was an actual conductor, okay, on the train when it came to the Underground Railroad? Like, Porsha's brand was not squeaky clean, okay? Porsha was a fall from grace since the beginning of her time on the television screen. So, yes, I do agree that the show has definitely damaged her brand. She looks absolutely crazy, but she been looking crazy since the moment she stepped up on the scene. And then Claudia went on to agree with Al Reynolds, who said that Porsha is probably not going to be on TV for too much longer because of this physical altercation, which I thought was really interesting. And I thought to myself, you know what, Claudia, you would know a lot about not being on TV no more. Okay, you would know the signs. Okay, you would be the expert, okay, to pick up on these signs of what to look for when someone is about to fall from grace and no longer be on TV, because you're no longer on TV. Unless I'm ignorant about a situation, okay? You left TV because don't nobody want you on TV, and you've resorted to Flop Soul, right? Which I think is on TV, but it's like on the streaming platforms. It ain't on like cable TV. It ain't on network TV. It's on like Roku TV and YouTube, right? Anyway, so Claudia, you would know what it's like to not be on TV no more, okay? But I thought that was just a little bit haterish, okay, if you ask me. Like, I was here when she said the show was foolish, okay, because the show is foolish. When you think about the situation with the robe, when you think about the fact that Porsha is still so triggered and hurt by Dennis that, Dennis can't even bring his girlfriends or his work. Meanwhile, you have whole ass Simon Guobadia and his big old back, okay, on your arm. I thought that was very foolish. When you think about the fact that Porsha even invited Dennis and Mama Gina onto the trip in the first place, yeah, it is foolish. So I was agreeing with her on that. I was agreeing with Claudia Jordan when she said that the show has damaged Porsha's brand. But then it got really haterish when you said the girl wasn't going to be on TV no more. I'm like, okay, how can you even predict that? Okay, Claudia Jordan, you got fired from the Housewives. You got fired from Bravo. And I didn't see you hit nobody. Okay, so that just goes to show that you can, play your cards in a certain way and still be fired. Okay, so how many fights have Porsha have been in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and she's still on TV? Okay. Anyways, and then you guys, what was super freaking petty about the entire situation is the fact that once they brought up Simon and his new tattoo and everything, Miss Claudia Jordan went on to say that both Simon and Porsha are extremely thirsty and desperate and then said that Simon had a white back. Oh my goodness. You guys go ahead and check out this clip.
I think they're both so thirsty and desperate for the attention, for the constant feeding of the ego, that they'll both do anything to stay in the headlines. Him getting a tattoo on his wide back or his shoulder, wherever it was.
Now, you know what? I am not going to disagree with that either. Simon and Porsha probably are really thirsty and desperate for attention and fame, okay? I'm not going to lie about the situation. But the people who talk about them, okay, like you and me, Claudia, we're just as thirsty and desperate to talk about them as they are thirsty and desperate to be talked about. But the thing about the wide backs is, wrong road. Okay, this is coming from the same person that had that whole makeshift bob. Okay, her bob was folded under. Okay, what's wrong with a bob? Something. Okay, something. Don't be talking about people's backs when you had a whole makeshift bob, Claudia. Okay, in Puerto Rico. Like, please stop playing with the girls, sis. Okay, stop playing with us. And then, of course, Claudia, you would know what it's like to be thirsty and desperate because you were on a show called The Next 15 because your first 15 done ran out. Okay, now that's the real tea. Okay, the real reason why she's on Flop Soul talking about Lenithia and Porsha every other second is because the 15 minutes dried up. So she's like, what do I need to do? I need to talk about my former castmates all the time. I mean, I'm just saying. So you guys, I'm tired. Okay, this situation is just too much for me. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel about everything in the comments down below. I'm gonna go ahead and log off. I love you guys. And don't forget to create a great day.